What is up, everybody? How's it going? I hope you guys are all doing well. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about Valorant's Battle Pass and a little bit of math. Now, I know what some of you may already be thinking. Wow, math's my favorite subject in school. I always loved plugging in the formulas and memorizing all the equations. I'm sure it's a subject that's kept a lot of you up late at night, probably for various reasons. But whatever the case may be, we're going to be talking about some of the EXP in Valorant's Battle Pass and what some of the things you can keep in mind are while you're progressing through this season. Now, luckily for you guys, I've actually done most of the math for you, so you guys don't have to. And this is with the help of a lot of the information that people in the community gathered about this season. And the first thing that I want to point out is the Twitter user by the name of Sheik. Now, Sheik has actually posted on his Twitter a list of all of the different weekly challenges that we're going to expect to see throughout the season, including the tasks and the EXP rewards related to them. This has been extremely useful in finding out how much XP that we should expect to get by the end of the season and how much XP we should be grinding day to day. I'll be posting a link to the weeklies and the Twitter post in the description if you're curious. Now, this same person has actually uploaded a nifty tool that will help you track your progress throughout the season in the Battle Pass with all of the different weekly challenges that you can check mark on and all of the leveling stuff. I'll link this in the description so you guys will be able to use it, and I think that all you really have to do is change these two values here, and in order to use this sheet, I think you'll just have to follow the instructions outlined here. And now we're going to get into what started this whole mess of a video. Now, I was actually just playing some casual games with my friend when I was curious, and I asked if they knew how the XP worked in this game, if they knew it was linear or exponential, or if they had a general idea, and they didn't really seem to have a good answer or a clue on how it worked, and I just couldn't stand that. I needed to know, and I was super curious, so I did some research on it, and this is what I found. So in level 2, you need 2000 to level up, and every level after that you're going to need an additional 750. So 2750, 3500, 4250, and so on until you hit the epilogue where it's kind of consistently at 36500. And I thought that this was super interesting, and apparently in previous seasons this was plus 1000 instead of 750. I think these percentages on the sides are extremely useful in kind of getting an idea on how far along you are on the XP side of things. So by level 50, you're about 84% there, which I thought was pretty cool. And these numbers were actually pretty useful in helping me calculate some stuff. And apparently, something that I just saw recently on this page, this will actually give you the amount of games required for just Spike Rush, Deathmatch, and normal games, and even with the weeklies. So this will actually be pretty useful in helping you find out how many games you still need to play. Now here's some of the math that I did personally, and I did some of these calculations, for example, while I was still researching, and apparently other people have already done a lot of this stuff right here, so unfortunately for me, that's a lot of time that I could have saved, but it's fortunate in some other ways since I did some extra things here that other people might not have. Now, if any of this helps anybody out there, I think that that's already worth it and time well spent. So, just to break it down, I did the calculations between these 2 days, so between April 27th to June 21st, which is about when the season should end. So you have around 56 days to finish everything. And just some voodoo math later, I put some values down that I thought would be useful, and I did some math on how long it would theoretically take you if you only had the XP from your challenges, and it would take you about 90 days to get to level 50 and about 107 to the epilogue. And you know that's just too many days. You can't get to that if you only have 56 days in the season. So that's obviously why you have your matches that you can use to pad your XP. And some more funny math and equations later, you get to this table, and this just kind of shows you how many matches you should be playing a day so you can get to where you want to be, which is level 50 or level 55. And if you're going to play Deathmatch or Spike Rush only, not that you'd be able to, since you need to buy for some of these missions, but if you were to do that, you would need like 7 to 12 death matches a day to get to where you want, or about 6 to 10 spike rushes, and that's a lot of spike rushes. That's more than I would mentally want to do, but for the last one, for unrated and comp, I kind of broke it down into 3 sections. So this would be the minimum amount of XP if you just got completely smashed. 013, you just did absolutely horrible. You'd need to play about 5 to 8 of those, and if you have 8 of those games, I'm sorry. Wow, that must have sucked. You probably never want to play the game, but hopefully you'd never get to that point. And if you get to, you know, the like the opposite, if you just completely smash all your rounds 13-0, you don't even know why they didn't surrender. If you have those games, you need about like 2 or 3 of those and you're good. This is actually kind of representative of how like average amount of XP that you should be getting every game. So 2 or 3 games a day sounds about right. And if you were to just slog it out every game, you go to overtime and just fight it out, get the max XP possible. You still need around 2 games to like get to the where you want to be, which is, you know, no epilogue or with epilogue. And just with all this information in mind, you typically want to play around 2 or 3 games a day and complete your challenges just to, you know, just to level your battle pass. And I think that this is about in line with how the other seasons went. It means that you're still spending a significant amount of time playing a lot of these games, and you're going to probably want to do all of your dailies because that's a lot of XP that you could be getting. That's a lot of games that you could not be playing. And I think that overall it's pretty manageable if you have the time to. Probably spend about, I don't know, about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day grinding out your games. It can be a good amount of time for some, maybe not for others. This means that it'll probably be your main game if you don't have a lot of free time to play, which is kind of just the bottom line. That's kind of how it's been so far. Now, if you're still watching, I just want to take the time to say thank you so much for watching and sticking around. I hope that you learned something new about Valorant's Battle Pass and its XP system. Now, some of this information was a little bit hard for me to find because not a lot of people were covering it, or maybe they just weren't interested in it, but now that, you know, I've done a video about it, hopefully this sheds some light on a lot of that stuff, and I hope that this helps a lot of people out. That was the goal. So if you enjoyed anything, or maybe if you didn't like anything in this video, please leave that in the comments below, just so I know for any future videos. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!
1 a.m., eyes closed, I'm slowly falling to the music and the atmosphere. Now and then, I feel lights fading softly all over me, and I remember last year.